Jesus took me. So sometimes I know that it's the Holy Spirit that is like, I know it was the Holy Spirit that like put me in the front of that tunnel. But this time Jesus had me by the hand and he took me to Britain. And it was just like Britain. That was just the word that I saw was Britain. And I was just instantly standing inside of this royal palace.
Whoa.
And it was, you know, it was a beautiful, I knew I was in Britain. I knew I was standing in a royal palace. And in this room, I saw this big, long, just beautiful, shiny table. And that would probably seat like at least 30 people, you know, in one of those nice, one of the nice rooms in the palace. But it had the most unique flower paper on the walls. It was just big flowers. And when kind of a side note, when I came back, I thought I am going to Google this to make sure of where I was, because I just wanted to know if this, you know, so I called it the flower room in a royal palace in Britain. That's kind of how I Googled it. And the picture popped up. And I have it in my journal, which is in there, but the room that I was standing in popped up, and in Google, in this royal palace, it's called the flower room, and it has the big long table, and it had the flower wallpaper, and I'm like, that's it, that's exactly where I was standing. But anyway,
when did you see this you saw this picture later, you're saying?
I saw it later. Yeah, because I came back because I thought I need to confirm where I was, because if there's a palace that has this, you know, is this possible? Is this possible that I really was there? And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, wow. that is a real place. They really have this wallpaper, you know, up.
That's
amazing. Anyway, so it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It was just the confidence, you know, the Holy Spirit saying, yes, this is where you were. Have confidence in what I'm doing in you. And so when I was standing at the room and I was looking at the wallpaper and this table, there was a cleaning lady. And she had this cleaning rag and she was polishing the table. And then she would stop and she would cry. And then she would polish the table and she would stop and she would cry. And I knew that she was why I was sent. And so I walked up to her, and she wasn't startled by my appearance. So I guess that she was used to having people walk in this room or something. I don't know, but she wasn't startled by that. And so I walked up to her and I asked her, why are you crying? And she said, I will never have anything nice like this. And she was just sad, just had no hope or anything like that. And so I took her by the hand and we started walking, and we walked through the wall.
Really?
No problem. We walked through the wall, and through the wall, there was a set of stairs that went up into the spirit realm. And we started walking up these stairs. Wow. And she said, where are we going? And I said, I'm going to show you your mansion. And that scared her. The fact that I popped into her room didn't scare her, but the fact that we walked through a wall didn't scare her, but the fact that she was going to see her mansion, that scared her. And she said, oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of that. And then Jesus he was telling me to tell her. He said, tell her. And so I said, remember when you were a little girl and you asked Jesus into your heart? That is what made you worthy of this mansion. And she started nodding her head, and she remembered. And so she let me continue on our trip, and we were standing in her mansion, in her kitchen. And she was standing there in front of her refrigerator, and she opens it, she takes a hold of it, and she opens this refrigerator, and it's full of food. And it's her refrigerator in her kitchen, in her mansion. And she was so surprised. And she started saying, and when she was looking at that, she says, this is all mine. And I'm like, yes, this is all yours. And then she rubbed her hand, because she had a beautiful table, just like the one that she had been polishing in the palace. She had this beautiful table, and she rubbed her hands across this beautiful table and down the door frames that she normally polish, you know, on the earth. And she's like, this is all mine. this is mine. And she was so surprised that
Now,
it was
Kim,
hers.
this is her mansion in heaven that she's going to one day. Just to be clear, make sure we're
Right,
saying this.
right.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, this was her mansion in heaven. This is, yeah, right.
okay.
And then instantly we were back in Britain in the palace that she was working in, and she started dancing and hopping, and she was swinging her cleaning rag and she was singing, I have my own place. I have my own place. And she was so happy, and she was dancing, and I was still in the kitchen as she danced off into the room, swinging her little rag
Nice.
and shouting, I have my own place. And I was just so happy, because Jesus restored her hope for a future. She was still a cleaning lady in the palace, but now she had hope for the
And
future.
and I'm looking at this going, God took you from the United States of America from your worshiping, and he decides that your next gig is going to be in Britain, in the middle of a palace for a cleaning lady that has no hope. I mean, how colorful is God that he makes these
Right.
choices and decisions? I mean, I can almost picture God, the Father, being as giddy as you're getting to do this. He's giddy that he gets to do this for you. He's doing this for you to set this woman free. I mean, you literally have, and these are things that you'll have a reward for in heaven for obeying too. Do you see it that way as well? That the
I
Lord will
hadn't thought of
reward
that,
you?
but yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good.
I mean, to obey, yeah. I absolutely believe that. So,
Yeah, and so it was so sweet that he would take me from like a tunnel that was so dramatic and so, dark and to a cleaning lady.
was this the same time
It was
period?
kind of probably the same year, kind of
Oh,
in the
same
same,
year.
yeah,
Okay.
kind of in the same year, kind of,
Okay. Yeah.
and so it just shows that he had such a heart for this lady, this cleaning lady, and he wanted her to have hope for the
Nice.
future. So
Yeah.
he translated me, like what you said, into her room just to bring hope to her. And then I was gone, so I don't know whatever, if she ever went back into the kitchen, like, where's that lady at? Where'd she go? Where is
Well,
her?
if
I
she
like
goes
her.
over the fact that she walked through walls and went to heaven, she probably figures there was something supernatural going on with you too. So
Right, right.
that's
I guess she went through the
amazing.
wall. Yeah, it
Yeah, I
was
mean,
pretty.
he took you to the darkest dark, and then the other one was the lady is again, she's in a dark place herself,
Right.
and
And she
that
was sad.
one of the things that, yeah, because that God was just as interested in releasing her from this depression as he
Right,
was for releasing those children. I mean, release is release, freedom is freedom,
right, right.
so joy is
Yeah.
joy.